Hello there. This is the Japanese JNAT that I posted a video of called Mystery Stone. What do I have? I found this at a local thrift store, flea market-y kind of thing. This I've determined to be some type of Japanese Kiita stone. Now I had one viewer say Nakayama. Nakayama is a mine. That's one of the most common Kiita names, or whatever you want to call it, that you'll see out there is Nakayama Kiita. But Nakayama is a mine. And this stone has no markings. It had no kanji or anything of the sort. So I can't say it's a Nakayama. But it is, in my estimation, a Kiita. Kiita means yellow plate. And this information I got off of tomonogura.com. Keith Johnson's website. And one of the reasons I'm pretty certain that it is a Kiita is it has what is known as iramono in it. And iramono, I believe, according to Kiita, means colorful laundry. So what you have is, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you see these red lines here, and if you look at the stone, I don't know, like I said, whether you can see it or not, but there are little flecks of red all through this stone, and there's a little line of blush, red blush, and iramono, from what I understand, could be red, it could be green, it could be many other colors, but you got a line of it going along here, and then if you look, you can see a bit of it on the edges. And I think if I lap this, you would probably see more. You would probably see a lot more of it. But it's lapped flat. I don't want to waste the surface. Now, I want this stone to last quite a while. I sealed it with one coat. And what I will do is I want to find out exactly what this stone will do. Because even if it is a Kiita, which it is, and even though it is a JNAT, not all JNAT are razor quality. There are those that are made for tools, or meant for tools, or whatnot. These are all made in the ground. Nobody made them but God. But anyway, some of them are fine enough for tools. Some of them are fine enough for razors. Some of them probably are junk. So I don't know. I don't know the mine it came from. By the way, the mine is not that important. What the stone does is what's important. The rest of it, is like gravy. But when you talk about mines, the importance of the mine is because you're determining value. It's similar to, I have an Escher. That's a Thuringian stone. Well, when I say I'm honing on my Escher, sometimes I'll get a comment, "You mean you're honing on a Thuringian?" Yeah, dummy. That's what it is. It's a Thuringian. Escher's a brand name. And the thing of it is I'm sorry if you don't like it. Okay? But Escher is a brand name that's sought after, and it makes the stone worth more because it is a labeled Escher. It doesn't matter whether you like that or not. That's the truth. Having said that, does that mean that Escher is going to hone a blade any better than some other Thuringian somebody else finds that doesn't have a brand name attached to it at all? Absolutely not. It's the same with this. Okay, this is an unknown stone as far as its provenance goes. I don't know where it came from. Doesn't matter. I need to know what it'll do. And if you think that, there was a mine next to the Nakayama mine, and this is kind of a thing I saw Keith Johnson talking about, and he's dead right. And the mine over there that's named Nakayama is pulling, awesome stones out of the ground, and the mine next to it is getting junk, you know. I mean, it doesn't matter the brand or label or the mine, or it matters for the value of the stone, but it doesn't make any difference as to what the stone will do. The only caveat to that is that the Eschers or Nakayama or whatever mine you're talking about, whatever type of stone you're talking about, there are mines and companies, brands that are known more for their quality or their quality control, and that is why people gravitated toward them. So, but what I want to do is I want to find out what this stone will do. So what I have here is a gold dollar. I forget which number this is. 209, 1000, some crap like that. And I've taken this razor down to a 1K level. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a 400 diamond plate, and I'm going to raise a slurry on this stone, and then I'm going to hone with it and see if I can go from a bevel set to finish. That's the first test of this stone. If it passes that, then I'll play around with it in other ways, but for right now, this is where we're going to start. So, stand by a minute. I've got a sink right here, so why not use it? But now, when you look at this, you should be able to see the bit of blushing that's going on. You see the red splotches. That's the Iramono in this stone. It's not very pronounced, but it doesn't matter. I'm just showing you, because that is a common characteristic of Kiitas, is that Iramono. I want quite a bit of slurry to start with, anyway. And I'm going to hold this in my hand. I do not know how well you'll be able to see it. Okay, that's not quite wet enough. Stone's got a nice feel to it. Smooth. The slurry's got an abrasive feel to it, but a very smooth type of feel to it. Stand by. I'm using a bit of pressure, a bit of torque on the edge. No, that's not going to hurt the stone at all. Don't freak out. I'm not banging it like I'm trying to bust it. I'm just tapping, but you can hear like it sounds pretty nice to me. It's got, the more I look at the stone, the more I see that it's not just completely yellow. It's got little blushes and shadings throughout it that make it absolutely beautiful. Hold on, there is also, I can't tell for sure what it is, but kind of little bluish or grayish kinds of specks going on in it. Just lovely. I bought it for $8. That's a blessing from the Lord. One of the things that I would say to you, and I don't know how this is going to turn out or what it's going to do as far as an edge goes, whether or not it will do what I want it to do for razors. But one of the things that I would say to you, and I've said it before, now this took a long time. I didn't just run out and find this. Look at this stone. Okay. I didn't just run out and find this, but you can find things like this if you just keep looking. Go to your local flea markets. Go to your local thrift stores and antiques places and just look around. And you can run across stuff like this. There's nothing that's unique to me. I don't have any magic to finding anything like this. I mean, I found $1 Escher and this $8 Kiita, but it's because I looked and looked, and you know, I don't pass any place where I think there might be a stone. I dig through old boxes full of crap. You know, anything and everything that I can find that I see that looks like there might be something there hidden. I look, and you got to turn over a lot of rocks to find a good rock. Excuse me a minute. I want to check the I want to check what the edge is doing, or more specifically what the stone is doing to the edge. Oh, gorgeous. It is wiping out the scratches from this bevel. Dude. And I'm getting that really beautiful hazy JDAT finish, but it's a really fine haze. Much finer than even what comes off of my show roof at this stage. Just a beautiful finish. That is good stuff. And it's a good sign. And I don't know if I said it before, but I've only put like one sealer coat on this. I need to put like 4 or 5 or 6 or maybe 10. And I will do that at a later date. Once I let this stone dry out for 2 or 3 days after this honing session. The feel on this stone is like, I don't even know how to describe it. There is an abrasive quality to it, but it's really smooth. There's no bumpiness. There's no graininess. None of that on this stone. It's absolutely beautiful art. I'm going to judge that to be good enough for the initial stage, and what I'm going to do is raise a second slurry and begin diluting. That slurry is pretty much done. And I'm going to back off the pressure just a bit. So how's everybody doing? How many of you are spending more time honing or sharpening things? If you're a straight razor sharpener, or if you're on my channel watching my knife sharpening videos, and you'll see, look at the way that slurry travels over the blade. Lovely. Have you found time to do a bit more honing? Now I'm maintaining some torque, not very much, just enough that I know that the blade is, the edge is making beautiful contact. Now you look at that, it's rolling over the edge beautifully. That's lovely. And we're going to start to dilute. I'm going to get rid of what slurry's on the blade. Help thin it out a bit more. I'm liking this stone. And like I say, if it won't finish from a bevel set up, then I'll try it after an 8K. And at one point, I'll throw some Nagur on it. See what it'll do with that. Okay, we're back. I've got a thinner slurry, a new thinner slurry, and we're gonna thin this out. Like I said, I could have continued on with that slurry that I had, but I find a lot of times you can wear a slurry, especially on a J-Nat, you can wear a slurry down to where it really doesn't do a whole lot of anything. And when you're refining, that's good, but I find a lot of times, and I need to thin that a bunch more, that starting with a newer slurry, a couple of times, depending on the stage that you're at, and that's something that you have to learn through trial and error, and it's probably going to be a bit different for every stone, but that sometimes can make the difference between how the stone performs. And I'm going to take this to probably plain water or very close to that. I'm liking the feel of this stone. Clean the slurry off the blade. It's interesting. I've rinsed this under running water, but you look at, I don't know if, let me get up here where you look at that. The slurry on this tends to cling to the steel. I've not had my Shelby do that. And it looks, I love the look of it. It's kind of like a, almost like a gold wash on the blade. And I want to look at this through a loop again. Trying to rinse it off the blade, it doesn't want to come. Ha ha ha! Oh, good Lord. Well, I don't have to wonder about whether or not it'll erase those scratches or not. That's a beautiful J-Nat finish. I'm gonna rinse this stone completely. And I'm going to rinse the blade completely. And I'm gonna do some plain water on him, because I like as sharp as I can get. And I know on my Shobu, clear water produces a screaming edge at the finish. So we're gonna run this on this I'm not really noticing any stiction to speak of. I don't normally go by that. We're going to hone on this on plain water for a while and just see what happens. I don't really need the stiction. I can see how the water or the slurry moves over this edge of the blade. I can look at it through a loop. Now it feels like I'm honing on glass. Okay. It feels like it's trying to stick, but like I said, I don't really go for that. I know a lot of guys do. And that's flipping absolutely gorgeous. That's a beautifully polished hazy J-Nat edge. Hold on a minute and let me see something. This is a Tomo that I use on my Shobodani. It's a fairly hard stone. What I want to do, yeah, see? I'm getting a blend of this, I think, and this stone. Hold on a minute. My Shobu. Which is significantly harder. So yeah, I'm getting a kind of a blend of these two, where I'm probably more getting either Shobu slurry or this slurry off of that. That's fine. So not as hard as the Shobu. It's alright. Give you a final look at the stone. And I'm going to be back in a minute. I'm going to chop this up and I'll be back. Let's see. That works for me. I think that's going to shave like pretty slamming. And I'll do a shave video to follow up this. Bless you, and thank you for watching. Later.